Hello and welcome to another Tactical Corner. Today we look at the Catachan 51st in a large infantry force facing off against the Drukhari in this Maelstrom of War battle report. Let's tune in to the tactics and strategies used in the game to improve your Warhammer 40,000 experience. Hello and welcome to another Tactical Corner. Today we see a large infantry-based force with some sentinel support versus the Drukhari in a Maelstrom of War mission. And in the Tactical Corner, I break down the battle report that happened earlier, so make sure you check the link in the description to watch the battle report as well. Now, when facing a large infantry-style force, now this is not a horde army, it's just a lot of infantry. And I'm running a very elite style Drukhari force with some tanks and some infantry and some Hellions. So a bit of stuff to deal with everything. I've got lances against the tanks and I've got poison against the infantry. Now against such a big army, ideally my general strategy is to isolate small pockets of the enemy army and then destroy them one step at a time. So in order to do this, I did deploy in a refused flank, using a lot of the line of sight blocking terrain to prevent my opponent's long-range guns like autocannons and las cannons from really doing as much damage as they could have potentially done to my Ravagers mainly, and to the Hellions. I kept the Hellions back because I knew the Hellions were going to be pivotal in eliminating the enemy infantry. Now, he deployed in a huge line across the deployment, and this was good to kind of spread out and get a lot of objectives, but it allowed me to really focus on one flank and hopefully hit it hard enough to let it crumble, while then being able to sweep across the whole army or get into the backfield and start doing a lot of damage to the rest of the force. Now I was able to take the first turn, and this proved to be pivotal for me as I instantly sprang up, and what I needed to do was take out the elements of the enemy army that threatened my Ravagers and my tanks first and foremost. Therefore, the sentinels with las cannons and autocannons had to be eliminated. Now, I kept the Hellions back. With their fast movement speed, their good shooting, and their good close combat ability, I knew they were going to be useful later in the game. So moving up, I was able to target a section of the enemy army and really kind of focus on it. And I sent the Incubi up with the Vizark in the Venom to really kind of do some damage, or at least the Incubi with the Clavex in there to do some damage. Now we did misplay this. This was pre-FAQ, so when the Venom died, the Incubi did get stuck into combat, but they were Inari. So as soon as things started dying, they would get better, and they were able to kind of bounce from unit to unit until the Ogryn decided to come in and end their reign of terror, as well as the Astra with his smite on that flank as well. Now, on the rest of the battle, I had to really push into the middle to prevent the long arm of infantry from sweeping all the way around. So I had to use my HQs, my Slith and my Archon and the Vizark, to really act as a buffer in order for my push up that flank to not get bogged down. Now I was hoping to draw the Ogryn out into the open and really kind of deal with them effectively. Now all the meantime, I was collecting Maelstrom points as well. And although the bunker in the middle was taken by some autocannons, the Ogryn were really my biggest threat at that time. Being very tough, with decent shooting, they could really go toe-to-toe with anything in close combat in my army, and I knew that I had to deal with them quickly and effectively. Now they did murder all the Incubi, but then once that was done, I was able to focus some fire on them and really use the Ravagers and Blasters in my army to bring them down to a manageable size. Now, the game didn't go as long as I would have hoped, but I was starting to gain the upper hand by target prioritizing the things that would kill my heavy guns first, tying up elements of the enemy army that I needed to tie up, and really focusing the strength of my force on one part of the enemy army to crack it, and therefore capitalize on the momentum created tactically to then get objectives and make it easier for me to play and win the game. All in all, this was a fantastic and fun game. Leave a comment down below if you like the format, or if you'd like to see something different on the Tactical Corner. Check the links, and if you haven't chosen to support on Patreon, I highly recommend you do. We're almost at our next goal, so check that out. We're also doing a 10,000 subscriber giveaway, so share the channel and help us get to that point earlier. After all, this is Skari, your grateful host, signing off. Skari, out.